How you doing, everybody? Derek Campbell here with Volksarama. Getting ready to fire up the Bonneville bus hopefully this evening. It's been a long road, been a couple years since I started building this. Obviously got the bus from KCW, and it was their shop truck project. Kevin Pigpen McCain inherited it and then traded off the blower onto the box rod for it, and kind of sat stagnant for about a year after I started it, trying to get my Volksarama and the motor business going. And the motor business has since closed, and so being cash poor, I'm just trying to get this thing running to get it up to Bonneville in about 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks. So hopefully tonight I will get the bus running, and neighbors be damned. We'll see if we can get this thing running. Oil system is done, fuel system is done, and all I've got to do is scavenge a bunch of ignition parts together tonight, and hopefully we'll get this thing rolling. So do a little tour real quick of the facilities. This is, of course, the Bonneville Bus. It is a 65, 66, something like that, 11 window bus that, like I said, KCW started on. And when I got it, all the suspension had been modified already. The torsion housing has been raised up and narrowed, and all the rear frame members been raised up and narrowed too, so we got good ground clearance. They did the barn door conversion at KCW by putting the rear barn door section in, but they had left the back window section, the big back window section. So George over at the Wagon here in Las Vegas had Kevin graft in the rear door section from an earlier bus, and got it to look more barn door-ish. Not trying to fake the barn door thing, because obviously the wheel well lips and the any vents and the hinges on the cargo doors, obviously that'll all be later model bus stuff, but we do want to give it kind of an earlier look in some ways. And then we did the barn door bluffer, looking like a barn door overhang, made by Chris Clark from Chris Clark Customs. He was responsible for doing the work and getting the idea going on that. And then I kind of started shaving. Once again at the Wagon, they put a new clip on here from EIS. EIS donated the front clip, and Kevin and the Wagon guys massaged that into place, and then I welded this seam up, kind of make it look a little smoother, and welded the tops of the doors up, and the window frames will just go in the front and rear holes, and they'll be covered with Lexan. You can kind of see the Jay Johnson from Action Motorsports is the one that donated all the window frames. They were cut out of a water jet on I think it's like 16th stamped steel, or rolled steel, and welded into place, and I've got the Lexan for that. And got the racing seat here. The cage work was done by Jim at Sand Freaks here in Las Vegas, and you can go to sandfreaks.com or sandfreaks.net, I can't remember, but it'll be on my website on Volksarama if you want to get to any of my sponsors' websites. But tried to make it as beefy as possible. I don't want to die on this thing, but if we do have a rollover or something, I think we should be pretty well protected. I'm sure there'll be some other people that say differently, but we'll see. Of course, Moon Eyes provided the moon discs, the nice Zeus fastener wheel discs. It's got Porsche 912 steel wheels, and Russell at Old Speed have provided the 4-wheel disc brake and the master cylinder setup for this. It's all Porsche 944 stuff that Russell sells at Old Speed, sells a lot of those kits. Real easy to put in, works really well. And of course, the boys at KCW had put a massive narrowed beam in here. It's like a 7-inch, I think, narrowed beam, 5-inch drop spindles, and this thing just, it'll lay on the frame if we need to, but we don't want to get that low, obviously. And then we've got the motor. Oh, and sorry, John from RC Trans here in Las Vegas. donated a super built gearbox, real high geared gearbox, and training should be bitching. Okay, so here's the motor. Got the engine case donated from Nevada Off-Road Buggy here in town in Las Vegas. Crank from DPR. Heads from Mofo Co. Pistons and cylinders from VW Parts Unlimited. Rods, lifters, and straight cuts from Bug Pack. Had some various other items donated from friends and stuff. And then the turbo system I traded off for a compressor, or the turbo itself. All the turbo system I traded off for a customer for some work on a sandrail. And found a little puke tank at Pomona. I got that for free. And of course I assembled it. And we'll see. It's a 2332. It's got around 7-to-1 compression. And I don't know what we're going to do for boost yet. This is my first attempt at messing with a turbocharged car, so it's a learning process for me. Right now I'm very cash poor, so it's not exactly the way I would like to do it on some of these things. For right now, just to try to start it up, I got to go with an 009 distributor, Bosch blue coil, Bosch wires, and some used cleaned up spark plugs for right now, just to get it going. We're charging the battery right now because it was kind of getting dead. Got the on and off switch here. You can hear the fuel pump going to town over there. And we'll see. This turbo system came off a running car, so hopefully the carburetor's fine. Although it used to be set up for alcohol. And I think you'll find these... Where did they go? I think you'll find these jets kind of funny looking. They just basically soldered a set of jets onto the end of here, and basically took a you can see that? Took a big old drill bit and literally just drilled out the end of the jets. And they're soldered on there. That's what was in the carburetor when I got it. So I put some jets in there that I have no idea if they're going to be the right size right now. So, you know, it'll be a little learning experience here trying to mess with this. But I got 2.5 weeks before Bonneviile. Hopefully we'll be able to get something done. There's a little crappy welder. That's the welder that put together the box rod. So and I think we're good. Jeff, our club member, Las Vegas VW club member up in Utah, donated the primer and the materials for the primer job so far, and the bodywork materials. And there's other sponsors that I may have forgotten right now. Oh, Dynamat, obviously. Dynamat came in and gave me a whole crap load of Dynamat, and sounds like a solid wood door. Doesn't sound tinny at all. Got a little bit more to finish on that. But this is it. This will hopefully be the fastest bus ever. The fastest bus I can ever find was Dave Cawell back in the 80s. Had his convertibilized bus, and I believe I saw on the website that it ran 128 miles an hour on the quarter mile. So if we can go 129, we can lay claim to the fastest bus ever, which, you know, in most people's world that really doesn't mean stuff, but I think it'd be pretty cool. So anyway, that's the Bonnie, and I'll get together another video, and as we get it started and you can hear it run it in, you know, we'll do the break-in on it. All right, www.volksarama.com. All right, see you guys.